What is going on, traders? Welcome to IFX Success, and I want to give you a major tip on how you think the market is fooling you, and it takes your stop loss and then it goes back into your direction. And so let me just give you one quick tip in here. Based on moving averages, this doesn't really matter if you trade on a lower time frames, on a higher time frames. It depends on your strategy, but I'm going to give you my strategy here, how I use the moving average in order for me to keep on that trade. And it's going to be very simple. I'm using right now the 5 minute time frame, and let's just do something quickly. There are two, when a trade goes against you, you have a 50-50 chance that obviously you're going to lose it, or that is going to go back into your direction. And how can you determine this? Well, there are actually two options that you can do this, and is based on my strategy. Let's just go here a little bit back in here, and if I say that when a candle crosses below that moving average and it closes below that moving average, then it's going to trigger an entry. And I'm going to stay on that entry as long as it stays below that moving average for a period of time. But if it closes above that moving average, then I have to decide whether I'm going to get out or whether I'm going to stay back in that trade. So one of the things that many of you do have is that you have stop losses that you put in there, and the market all of a sudden goes back in here. I'm sorry about this. So let's say I enter in here, I'm on my trade, and if I don't get out, then I have to wait, and hopefully we'll keep on going lower, right? And so this goes back in here, it closes above my moving average, and then what is it doing is that I have to make a decision whether is it gonna keep on going higher. Am I going to get out, or is it, or if I should get out, because that should be one of my targets, that as soon as the moving candle closes above that moving average, then I should just get out. But then why do I stay in on this trade? Well, there are two options. If you don't have another moving average to back you up on a higher time frame, then you should definitely get out, especially if you're going on a higher trend. So if we're gonna go back on a major trend, let me just go back in here on 15 minutes and see what is 15 minute doing. Well, at this time in moment, then 15-minute moving average was my backup. So then if we had crossed also my 15 moving average, then I would have gotten out of that trade. So that we're on 15 minutes. So this is why this trade was okay to stay, because I had a backup on a higher time frame. If on every other time frame we were above that moving average, then I will have to get out, because then I know that we are in an uptrend, or there was no other anything to back me up. So then obviously if I would have closed in here and then I would have bought, then it would have to, it kept going down. And so that's one of the things that that you should be careful. Also, let me show you another example in which the market goes against. You see how here it nicely stayed above that, below that moving average, then in here it gave us that cross and it stayed above. Here we got a sell entry. I'm sure that even if I show you here, we probably had a backup on the next time frame. We would have been the 15 moving average, and here it is. It's still above that 15 moving average. So that way, you can't freak out and say, oh my God, I entered into this trade, it's gonna go against me. But on a higher time frame, you are backed up by a higher by a moving average. So this is why it's very important to see multiple time frames at a time, because if you're looking at one time frame, you're pretty much lost in the wilderness. You don't know what's going on. You don't have a GPS. You don't know what's coming next. And it's like you're lost in the wilderness with no flashlight at night. Like you're blinded. And so one of my system is we have different moving averages, in which if the market is going against you, I know that I have something to back me up, a higher time frame. All right, so let's keep on going in here. Let me show you something very interesting, in which that you think that, oh my God, again, let me get out because my trade is going against me and I need to get out of this trade. Remember, the market moves in waves. So it's not gonna keep on going lower and lower and lower, and then it's not gonna keep on going higher and higher. It's always gonna make up in waves, and it's gonna go down in waves. So here's one example. So we enter again, we have a candle that closed below that moving average, then the market kept on going lower, then this candle was a bullish candle. It got out of my moving average, but then what do I have to wait? Remember, I have two options. It's gonna go out, but then if it closes below that moving average, I'm still in good standing. Then this candle, next one, did the same thing, got out of that moving average, but still it closed below that moving average, so I'm still in good standing. As long as it stays inside that moving average, then we're good to go. But then again, in here it closed below, it closed above, but then the next one, kind of went above a little bit, but then it kept on going down. But if I go again and show you how was my 15 minutes doing, then it was my only one to back me up, and here it is. We have that moving average in 15 minutes that is backing me up, that I know that I can still keep on waiting on this trade just for a little bit longer. We can't hold on forever, because eventually what did it do? It turned around on us. But that is the trick of this part of trading. It's just, don't freak out. Don't let these candles fool you. The wicks of the candles in that moment in time, they're really gonna fool you. Like how in here it finally gave us the cross, and it's just pretty much stayed above that moving average, and eventually it crossed over here. So this one was a really nice trade where you didn't have to really worry too much. So please, don't let the market fool you. Don't let those stop losses, that for no reason stop you out and then keep on going your way. Or don't let those candles fool you all the time, because that's what they do. And so that is my basic strategy on how you can trade that moving average. You can just pretty much trade a moving average, and it's very simple. As long as it stays on top of that moving average, you stayed on that trade. If you see that it's crossing, then just verify quickly on a higher time frame to see what's your standing. And if the next one, so 15 minutes was my backup, and then if I go to 1 hour, well, 1 hour we were still actually at that timing moment, we were below that moving average in 1 hour. So 15 minutes was the only one that was able to sustain that trade. And if you can tell on a higher time frame too, was able to keep up and keep on going until eventually also cross. So like I said, no matter what time frame you choose to trade in, whether you choose the 1 minute, you still need the backup for 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Whether you choose to trade 1 hour, then what's your backup, 4 hours or the daily. Here, check this out. This is the 1 hour trading, and on my course, I can teach you how to scalp the market, and you can also trade on a long term. So if this candle cross on the 1 hour, pretty much you will be able to hold all of this, because yes, it was crossing, it was trying to go below that moving average, but still it closed above that moving average. So from here to here, that was 90 pips. Then we got a small wave going down, and then again we had an entry over here. And what did the market do? It went up again another 73 pips. It stayed along that moving average. Here we kind of had a small hiccup, but we would have still waited, because if this candle would have broken this one, then that's it. We will have to close that trade no matter what. So, and if we can go to the 4 hours, since if you will be trading a higher time frame, let's see what's 4 hours doing. Then 4 hours is my backup. 4 hours is the one that's like, hey, don't worry, we're gonna keep going higher and higher. Don't worry on getting out on this trade. And pretty much that's what it did. It was my backup, and then it kept on going higher. So traders, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video. I will be putting more videos like this, so you can learn more about trading. Trading doesn't have to be so hard. It can be very simple. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.